Welcome to Whippoorwill Hollow. I'm Miss Lori, and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. So let's talk ingredients. We've got angel food cake, sweetened strawberries, we've got crushed pineapple, bananas, Cool Whip, vanilla pudding, nuts, chocolate syrup, and maraschino cherries. What do you get with that? You get a banana split. And that's exactly what this is, a banana split dessert. Kids are going to love it. Y'all ever watch Sandra Lee, Semi-Homemade? She can come up with some of the best recipes that don't break the bank, that are easy and fast to put together. I remember watching her years ago. Shoot, my kids were still home when I was watching her. But we're going to start out now by making our banana split dessert. And I've got about 10 ounces. Well, actually, there's 20 ounces because each one of these are 10 ounces of angel food cake. And I just picked these up already made. They're at Walmart in the bakery section. And these are pretty good angel food cakes. Now, if you want to make a homemade one, I've got a video making one of the best homemade angel food cakes you ever ate. I love homemade angel food cake. But you know, when it comes this time of year, you just don't, sometimes you just don't have time to make every little thing homemade. You got to have a little bit of help. And this is one of those desserts. And this is one of those desserts that your kids and your grandkids and your big kids are going to love it. I love refrigerated cold desserts like this, especially in summertime. But here it being Thanksgiving and it's cold, it's still good stuff. And this has got some of my favorite stuff in it. And you know what? It might be Thanksgiving dinner, but you can still have banana split. Who says you can't? Now we're going to dip our strawberries over our angel food cake because that cake is going to soak up that juice. I'll put the ounces and everything in the recipe box down below with all my information in there below the video. It'll have the ounces and what I used and everything. You know, this really isn't a recipe. This is something I threw together years ago because my kids loved it, and it's just one of them kind of recipes. I'm going to put a little bit of pineapple. I'm not going to put layers and layers of pineapple. In fact, I'm going to use my fingers because it's hard to shake it around and get it everywhere, but you just want to kind of sprinkle around. Now, the strawberries have some sugar in it. This is crushed pineapples. It don't have any syrup in it. It's just the pineapple and the pineapple juice, so it's not too sweet. And you just kind of spread that around. Then you want to take you some bananas. And I tell you, groceries being so high, you know, we really have to watch how much we spend. But this is the only thing I've had to buy so far is stuff for this dessert, because everything else I've got in my pantry, anything that I had to buy was bought way ahead of time before groceries got really high. I grew a bunch of pumpkins, so I've got fresh pumpkin for pie and stuff. I'm not going to, you know, just go overboard this year. I think a few pies and a cold dessert, maybe, you know, just some stuff like that. Maybe some cookies. I think it's plenty. You know, it just seems like we have so much food at Thanksgiving. But, you know, there's still the old goodies that you had to have. Now, we got our bananas in there. We're going to put our vanilla pudding. This is just instant vanilla pudding. It's 2 small boxes. And this is kind of like substitute for your vanilla ice cream. So it's vanilla pudding. So we're going to put a layer of that. But yeah, we're going to have our usual pumpkin pie. In fact, I'll have to make 2 of them, enough to go around everybody. I don't know. I think I may wait till Christmas to make the pecan pie. But I will make a coconut cream pie, and I'm trying to think. I'm going to have a couple of cold desserts. But our main dessert always at Thanksgiving is homemade pumpkin pie. And we are going to have turkey breast and a ham. And of course, my southern dressing, hot rolls. Now, y'all know that I loved homemade whipped cream, but we are cheating and using Cool Whip. And we all know that Cool Whip's not as good as whipped cream. We all know that. But sometimes you just got to do it, and this is one of them times. And my grandkids love Cool Whip. That was one of the things I'll never forget. My kids, when they was little, they'd go stay with Danny's mom. And of course, Danny's mom was a good cook. And she used Cool Whip too on her desserts. And they'd come home and they'd say, we ate good at Grandma's. And I thought, well, I know you did. And what she would do is she'd give them the bowl of Cool Whip and give them a spoon and sit them at the bar and let them eat Cool Whip. That was a treat to them. They thought that was so neat that Grandma Brown would let them do that. That's just a memory that they talk about every so often. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm keeping my Cool Whip bowls so the kids can take leftovers home in the Cool Whip bowl, and I don't have to worry about getting it back. I'm not saving it for myself, but just so they can take stuff home in it. Okay, now that we got our Cool Whip on there, we're going to go ahead and start with another layer of our angel food cake. I kind of like to make sure that I get it around the edge, that way you can see the layers. Sometimes the layers get lost and you can't see what all's in there. Now, I used to have the prettiest clear trifle bowl, and for the life of me I couldn't find it. So that's why I'm using this this big bowl here. My trifle bowl was a little bit smaller, but it was tall, and it was really pretty making desserts in them. But anyways, I don't know what happened to that thing. It's around this house somewhere. And you can do this with pound cake. You don't have to use angel food. And you can even use, just make you a white cake or a yellow cake. You can do it with that too. It'd be good. But this angel food cake is just, it's really soft and sweet. It soaks up that strawberry juice so good. And this is one of the desserts that when I would make it years ago, when the kids were all home and they were young, everybody just loved it. There was never any leftovers. I think it's because it's just a different kind of dessert, from the usual. I used to make, I haven't in a while, but my son-in-law's always liked my brownie trifle dessert because it had brownies in it, and it had chocolate pudding, and it had whipped cream, and it had crushed up Heath bars. It's not very healthy, but boy, it was good. Now we're going to pour another layer of strawberries in the juice. Let all that soak up really good. And I can tell you, I like to make this the day ahead and put it in the refrigerator and let it soak up all them juices. Now you can maybe make it 2 days ahead, but I wouldn't go any sooner than that or any further than that, because your bananas will start turning brown and your Cool Whip will start breaking down, so it won't be as pretty of a dish. And I'm just going to use up the rest of this pineapple. Now if you want to do a whole big layer of pineapple, open you up a couple cans. I just opened up one and drained it. Make sure you drain it. And kind of just spread it all around. Well, my hands are sticky. We're going to cut up some more bananas. That's another thing we always have at Thanksgiving is banana pudding. That's what I was thinking of. And I've got a video doing my banana pudding. Banana pudding was always a big staple every Thanksgiving. Whether if it was at my grandma's house or Danny's mama's house, there was always a big bowl of banana pudding. And it was always the cold banana pudding. It wasn't the homemade, out of the oven hot like Mr. Brown likes. So we're going to use about 4 bananas. Just kind of spread them around. And I'm telling y'all, this tastes like a banana split. So we're going to use the rest of our pudding. And you can buy the off-brand instant pudding. I never thought that it tasted as good as Jell-O instant pudding. But I tell you what I've done before is I've added a little bit of vanilla extract to it. Some of the cheaper brands make them taste better. But you know what? Price of groceries, you got to do what you got to do. And you can also make it homemade. Make you some homemade vanilla pudding and put it in the refrigerator and get it set up, cool off. Either way, it's going to be good stuff. And I'm going to save that bowl for Mr. Brown. And if not for Mr. Brown, I may eat the rest of it. I love vanilla pudding, and I don't eat it hardly ever. So, that's that layer. And then we're going to finish it off with another tub, 8 ounces, of Cool Whip or whipped cream, whichever you used. So we've used about 16 ounces. This is going to feed several people too. And it's not a really rich dessert. You would think with all this pudding and stuff it would be, but it's not. I'm just going to spread that around really good. Get it over on the sides. And I'll tell you something else I don't forgot that we make a lot at the holidays, and that is Watergate salad. Have y'all ever ate Watergate salad? Oh, it's one of my favorites. It uses instant pistachio pudding. I might have to make that. And I don't think I've got a video making it. I've got videos making other salads like that for holidays. So, that's our last layer like that. Now we're going to take our nuts. And I'm using walnuts, of course. You can use pecans, whichever you want to. And just sprinkle them around there. I like to put them on there very kind of thick. That way everybody gets a little bit of nuts in their spoonful. And with the dessert being so deep like this, that's why I say it feeds quite a few. So it's a good potluck dessert. And this is our chocolate syrup. This is where we gild the lily right here. A banana split has to have chocolate syrup. This is some really good chocolate syrup, y'all. I ordered this off Amazon. Some good stuff. And now we're going to put our maraschino cherries. Put as many as you want. I'm going to put quite a few of them. Like I said, that way everybody that wants cherries can have a cherry. And you see it's all coming together, and you see how pretty it is on top. It just makes a really pretty dish too. It's even adults are like children. They eat with their eyes. And that's what we always say about kids at school. that children eat visually. You know, when they see something that looks good, they just get happy and they want to eat it, or they want at least to try to eat it. And as adults, we do the same thing. You know, if kids see something that don't look too good to them, they just ain't even gonna try it. But this right here is so pretty. I'm gonna eat one of these cherries. You see how pretty that is? Tell me you don't want some of that. Mr. Brown comes in. I'm going to have him taste it. I'm going to wipe some of this off the edge, clean it up a little bit. And I've got a good sturdy lid that'll go on top of this and keep it nice and pretty and fresh. So there it is. There's your banana split dessert. I'm telling y'all, it is delicious. So if you've got a crowd to feed, especially a bunch of little ones, you got to make this one. Does it taste like a banana split?
I think it's better. I think it's better than a banana split.
It's got that angel food cake in there. With that vanilla pudding, kind of reminds you of vanilla ice cream, don't it?
Boy, that's good.
I think the kids will really like it, don't you? Banana split for Thanksgiving, yum.
I think they'll more than like it.
I think Mr. Brown will like it too.
Oh. You got a big old spoon.
Well, go in your little mouth. So it's a keeper, huh?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Mr. Brown can't say it because he's stuffing his mouth.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye, everybody. God bless.